Aaron and I were out on a recent four-wheel drive trip and I had a bit of a vehicle failure.
Yeah.
Blew a CV, had to pull the front wheels off. I carry all the spare parts and that, but the wheel bearing grease was stuffed. It had mud and water, it was rubbish in there. And so the guys at Penrite have given us some grease and we're going to show you how to pack a wheel bearing. Now, so what I do it by hand, is I like to get into the job.
Now you're a mechanic, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, right, yeah.
Yes, I'm a mechanic.
Right.
So slap a nice bit of grease in there. Now the idea of this process is to get the grease down in here in between all of the rollers. So you put the grease on the palm of your hand and then you start slapping. All right, and the grease is going to start coming up between the rollers like that there. See how that's coming up? Okay, so we're filling up these rollers with grease. Are you going to pack your wheel bearing, mate?
Can I just say, that looks like it's very effective.
It is because you don't want free space in there. So as this is rotating in the wheel, that grease is always there, keeping the rollers nice and greasy.
But you like getting dirty, clearly.
Well, I just like getting the job done.
Oh. See,
what are you going to do with that?
As you know, I'm an electrician, and electricians don't like to get dirty. I mean, I've got lovely pretty hands, and so I use a Ziploc bag to do my...
What are you going to do with that? Put it over your head.
Mate, I take a big chunk of grease.
Oh, that's why he's got the big tub.
That's why I wanted the big tub. It's a lot easier than using the little 500 gram tub.
Yeah, you're environmentally friendly, you are.
And I'll just chuck that bearing in there and turn the bag inside out.
What, with the race and everything?
Well, yeah, you can put the race in there. It's no real drama. It can sit in there. You can move it off to the side, but the long story short,
yeah, whatever,
is you use the bag,
yeah,
as your reservoir. I don't have any grease on my hands.
Not yet.
No, well, not. I mean, eventually I'll get you to put them in. But I just sit there and manipulate the grease.
Question for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm slowly getting the grease up my wrist here. Now, of course, you can go and get a grease packing machine, but hey, didn't do that. Yeah. How do you know you're getting grease down into the inner race in there?
Well, effectively what I'm doing in here, I'm using grease under a pressured situation. So as I continually manipulate it, it's pushing the air out of there and displacing it with the grease. And then you can keep letting the air out of this part of the bag. But I mean, look, it's not a hard and fast rule. You pull it out and you inspect it. And one of the things you can actually turn the race inside the bag, and you can feel the resistance.
I can do that here. No, I can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. There I can. I've got to hold the right bit. I got more grease in there because it's not working. So look, the idea is, however you do it, whether it's with a bag or the real way, you want to get the grease filling all of those cavities up there, and then pack the grease up like that, so and slime her all up. Now, what I do as a four-wheel driver, I actually have in my four-wheel drive a set of bearings greased up inside a clip lock bag. See, I do use them. And in a bearing box, ready to go. So if I have a failure out on the tracks, I actually have a full set of bearings. Now, fortunately on my vehicle, the front and rear wheel bearings are the same bearing. So
that's all right.
I only have to carry one set, although I do carry two. I only have to carry one, and away we go. Now, if I'd prepared it better, I would actually have with me now a rag.
Well, you don't. Oh, thanks.
It's all right, mate. Sorry about that. Look, I don't think that's really working for you, man.
Well, it was.
Till I came along. All right, look, that's how you pack a wheel bearing. Now, let's talk a little bit about grease, because there's not a lot to be said about grease, but obviously a whole bunch of technology does go into it.
Definitely.
What does the person who's looking to purchase some grease need to know? Aaron, what's your research showing?
Well, okay, so it depends on your application. Obviously, when we're talking wheel bearings, you need a wheel bearing grease. And most greases are going to be a high temperature application for a wheel bearing, because there's a lot of frictional forces potentially involved in there.
As opposed to, say, a hydraulic ram or even just a universal joint in a tail shaft.
Yeah. So there's different greases for different applications, and I think if you were to look at your manufacturer's handbook on your vehicle, it's going to suggest the types of grease that you need for different chassis applications. So it might suggest, say, for your CVs that you use a moly or molybdenum.
Oh, he got that word out.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yes.
Which is, the black grease that you typically see.
Yeah, so molybdenum, I got it out too. Is that a graphite-based product, or is molybdenum a specific compound?
Well, yeah, I think it's molybdenum disulfate. Yep. So it's an additive into the grease. Okay. Typically, you might see it in ratios up to about 3% of the total grease. So it's an additive. It's an anti-wear agent that increases the lubricating properties of that grease.
Very cool.
Under high pressure situations.
Now, on grease, there's this terminology here, NG. Oh, I need my glasses.
It's a NLGI.
NLGI.
Number 2.
Okay, what does that mean?
Okay, so NLGI is a National Lubricating Grease Institute. So that's basically a universal rating system. And the number that's associated is basically like the viscosity of that grease. Okay. So a number 2 grease is more your general purpose. It's kind of like the...
about that consistency?
Say peanut butter, I should say.
Peanuts, yes. Yeah. Peanut butter, yes.
Yeah, not so much peanuts, that'd be a bit rough. But certainly peanut butter. Whereas if you had an NLGI number 1 grease, it's going to be a lot thinner.
Okay.
So
a 3 would be heavier.
Correct. Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
So Penrite do a range of products, and all the Penrite products are Australian. It's a family-owned business, and it's Australian-made. These guys have been making greases and oils and all that sort of product since 1928. Yeah, 26. And so it's a great range of products, and their greases are available all over the place. So go to the Penrite website. Just Google Penrite. You'll find them. And they'll have all the information you want to know about the Penrite range of greases. I'm Mad Matt.
I'm not.
Stay safe on the trails.